Hey, how's it going? I hope you're doing as good as I'm doing today. Mentally, I'm going to put that at a solid 9.5. It was genuinely such a fun day today, and I've really gotten to get a hold of some things I really wanted to find my own pace in, I guess. Primarily like stuff with these videos, or just my work schedule, my motivation in general. So like everything just feels really on pace right now physically. Like I'll put it at a solid like 9.25, honestly. Like it was way more in tune than I could have asked for. Today is a pause full clean and jerk day, and those days are scary as shit because it's just clean and jerks are basically 2 reps in 1, so doing pause doubles of those are pretty tough. Heavy pause front squats, that'll take the piss out of you, and the heavy pause double clean pulls, and the whole entire time, not a lot of rest, just going when I felt good, like didn't waste too much time like talking to people, and I just my core, my hips, my drive, everything was really connecting, and I love to see that type of shit, especially when the homies are around. I love I don't do it for the attention, but goddamn, I love some good attention when I'm succeeding. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to clarify, I guess where I'm at, because, if you've been here for a minute, everything's been kind of changing willy-nilly, like just about every fucking video. Not super on purpose, but I'm a big guy about being able to change at a moment's notice and just being adaptable and trying out new things just for the sake of seeing how far it'll go, and if it may open new paths to more passion, and the more I overthought it and the more effort I tried to put into these types of videos and trying to come up with a specific topic and something super meaningful that would really hit in my, not just in my own heart but everybody else's, it was dragging on me a good bit, because I feel like I started coming up with new topics to get upset about when I had nothing wrong going on, and I am not the type of guy to give myself my own beef. Like, that shit is not fun. And so you're constantly sitting there maybe telling yourself like, hey man, either you need to try better or maybe you should just stop. And I hate that. That is, I find that that's a load of horse shit personally, because just because you hit what feels like a massive obstacle and the things that you want to become better at does not mean that it's over or that you need to start looking elsewhere for potential. Like, at least in my case, not every positive step is a materialistic step forward. I was trying to see what people may cling to in these videos, or what might hit more at home, and it eventually stopped being about me. And the whole reason I started these videos was to give myself a therapeutic outlet so that I wouldn't harbor these negative feelings all the time without being able to talk to them properly, without expectation. So I'm in my own way, I'm turning over some new leaves while also returning back to some old roots that I haven't allowed myself to really connect back with in a minute. And again, it may seem like I'm just going back to whatever the hell I used to do because I don't want to put in more effort, but this is like the most motivated and happy I've been to like throw one of these out there. So at least for now, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to talk about some negative shit going on in my life in the future. That's why I love doing these. It's a half an outlet for me and half a way for me to give potential advice to other people, just through my own life experiences. So instead of just sitting there thinking I don't have anything to talk about that's a negative impact on life to most people, so I might as well say nothing at all, let's just focus on the positives, and I think it'd be like, although I think I have a pretty good positive mindset about every topic I bring up, they all stem from negative occurrences that either happened to someone else or happened to me. And I try to be such a positive person, not for the appearance, but it makes me more motivated to live my life not even to like the best statistics that I can get, just the most enjoyment that I can find in it, you know? And again, that doesn't always mean working your ass off for 12 hours and seeing what comes out. So, you know, I really want to try to, instead of latching on to those easily negative things that I can talk about, let's just try to come up with some positives. Because if you've been here, I'm always talking about how you're only as negative as you allow yourself to be. Like, I think for that reason, people do choose happiness. And again, I feel like it's a lot of whether or not you can realize that or not. But, you know, I think that most negative things you have to say about yourself are fabricated by yourself, if not other people. It sucks when it's other people. But again, their opinion doesn't fucking matter. It's all about you in this life. You got to be selflessly selfish on the way you want to live, you know? Keep caring for others, but don't do it at your own expense. Anyway, try not to rattle on too much, but I find that most people don't realize, if I were to ask you to name 5 to 10 positive things about yourself that you can come up with, you're not going to come up with some random bullshit about you probably comparing yourself to someone, or you thinking that you don't have a socially acceptable attribute physically or mentally or whatever, that kind of shit, where it's just what the culture of today is placed in your mind as what you feel may be inherently negative, when it's really not. It's just who you are. And so, but I think when I ask like positives about yourself, you can't lie to me about that. You know, you're going to sit there, and even if it takes you a minute, you're going to sit there and really think of like, okay, well, I'm pretty strong. Like, I'm committed to the gym. Well, I have a great family, or I have a job that gives me enough money to put food on the table, that kind of shit. You know, just anything that you can latch onto, even if it seems insignificant, any positive influence in your daily life is a percentage of the reason why you are continuing to make each step every day. So instead of, you know, trying to do some shit that I feel other people may like, or do some shit that I don't personally like for the sake of staying committed to one singular style of video, or even in my workouts or anything I'm passionate about. Like, everything is meant to be adaptable. You know, I'm always changing my program. I'm always changing my daily schedule. But in the end, through my consistency and through my discipline and the passion that comes along with the positive influences that I surround myself with, I am able to continuously get better in the long run. The negatives are never, ever as long as you think they're going to be. And like these past couple weeks of me bullshitting with these videos, like trying to put out some random shit that I wasn't even half-heartedly passionate about, like it felt like a year because of how shitty I felt about it. And then at the end of it, I was just sitting there like, why don't I just do whatever the fuck I want to? That's the whole point. So, you know, I guess the whole gist of what I'm trying to say is there's way more positives than you give credit for, and there are way too many negatives that you may be fabricating or others may be fabricating about yourself. So even if it seems negative at heart, or someone else makes it seem like it's a negative thing, accept that that's who you are, and do the best of your ability to reroute those seemingly negative attributes to something more positive in your personal life. And hey, along the way, if you're trying your best, you might just end up inspiring some other people. And that's what's so great about it. It's so amazing to me what people can accomplish with just one person's support. Just unconditional, no expectation, no obligational familial bond. Just that one person that may step into your life at random and just be like, hey man, just do your best. Just be you. You're doing great. And man, when I tell people that kind of shit in the gym, especially, even if I don't know them that well, it doesn't matter. Dude, I get to get in there and I see them and they're like going to town, you know, just like how people will, you know, yell at me from across the gym to hype me up. I started yelling at other people. Like there was a guy on the shoulder press across from me not too many days ago while I was doing my cardio, and he was like really fucking struggling, and he was just like breathing out of his mind, like about to pass out, just, struggling to get that drive there, like that motivation to keep going. And I literally, no words, just looked at him and went, yeah, and just started fist pumping my arm, just like telling him to keep going from across the gym. And dude, the smile that comes up on people's faces when you just give them that one bit of just random, it may seem embarrassing, but it's a positive, no expectation, just all love kind of influence. And man, he was repping out that last set. I heard him grunting from across the gym, and I was like, shit, you do you, man. If you're gonna grunt, enjoy it. It's never as big a deal as I think it may seem when you feel that you found yourself in a really shitty slump. So take that shit with a grain of salt. That's just the way I see it. But I really wanted to try to wrap my brain around what was fucking me up. And I think it's just about, like I say to everyone else, this is why people say that if you're a person that tries to give advice to others, you need someone that gives advice to you. Because half the shit you're saying is probably your own projection about what you need to work on yourself. So, like I say, I'm going to try to focus more on the positives and stop bringing up so much negative shit just for the sake of, hitting home at some nostalgic feeling. If I have a shit day and something shitty happens to me, you're going to hear about it, sure. But at a healthy expense, not so much to the point where I have to force myself to, devolve back to my old traumatic past. It's just, I always say the past isn't waiting on you, so why let it drag you back down and bring it up? Just move on and do the best you can now. Every second counts. So every second that you're thinking about the past and regretting what you did is a second wasted in the present that could have been. So it's kind of all I got. I know it's kind of a very upfront kind of video, just me kind of just going off, but that's kind of what I want it to be. I used to try to come up with a topic before talking about this shit and like trying to think of like, oh, what can I say about this and this and this? Like, what can I connect to on my personal values and the general world values? And in the end of it, I was just like, why don't I just start talking and see what comes out? Again, that's the whole reason why I started this. I'm going back to the roots that drove this passion out of me in the first place. That first video I threw up on the internet on this channel, when I was just like, I have no fucking clue what's going on, but here's the things that are messing with me. By the end of that video, I had said so much stuff that I didn't realize was messing with me that I was sitting there like, damn, I'm glad I just started spewing. Because again, with that no expectation audience, you're just sitting there just going off about anything and everything without the limitations that your brain puts on yourselves when you're talking to certain people. So I'm going to just keep doing me, loving life, doing my thing, and I hope you guys will do the same, So I'll be back tomorrow. We got pause squats and pause snatches, and peak week is coming soon. You're going to get to see me lift some heavy ass weight for a solid 6 videos in a row. So be waiting on that, and I'll be back. I'll see you.